Now let's go to what I call path 2. Path 2 is a different set of fingerings, different set of overtones. And if you can get these, you can go higher than an A much easier than you can with path 1 fingerings. Now, path 2 is going to start with the same F that we already learned, the alternate F, but when you go to F sharp, it's a big change. You're going to play like a regular F natural fingering. So yes, you got to slide that finger sideways, okay, from the special key back down to its normal location. A normal F fingering plus the B flat key, okay? If you can get that to pop out an F sharp, you're in pretty good place to go even higher than that. So let's try it and see if you can get it. F to F sharp with the path 2 fingering. The hard thing about going back and forth is the ability to get the index finger to flip between those two buttons with, seamlessly. If you have looked at fingerings online or got advice from other people, there's lots and lots of different fingerings. Well, I think the reason for those different fingerings is partly for intonation. Okay, now for example, on an F sharp, that fingering I just showed you tends to get it pretty close in tune for me. But if I need to raise the pitch a little, you can add or subtract any pinky key, okay? The G sharp will not open because you're already pushing this button down. But these other bell keys down here, they play a small role in the intonation of your altissimo. All right, so let's go back to that F sharp, and I'm gonna demonstrate playing these other fingers, and you'll see what I mean. See, a tiny bit of timbre difference, tiny bit of a pitch difference. When I was talking about path 1, I mentioned that the G natural is pretty fragile and, hard to get. Well, unfortunately, in path 2, it is also kind of fragile and hard to get when compared to the notes that are higher than a G. So here goes. A G in this path is achieved by playing the F sharp fingering that you already have. Okay, remember that was 1, 2, 3, 1, and the B flat key all at the same time. Now lift up your middle finger here, and that should make it go up a half step. At first, it's not a half step, it's less. So you can lip it up in tune by, again, literally lipping up the reed a tiny bit, and it should go in tune to a G. I've also seen people get it more in tune by adding on this key. Okay, so you got 1, 3, 1, 3, plus the B flat. Okay, it's a strange fingering, right? But anyway, if that works for you, awesome. I tend to do just those, and then I often add on my C natural key, which makes it feel a little bit more stable for me. So again, to get success, start on a note that you can actually hit. So then we're gonna slur up higher. F natural, go to F sharp, and then go to G by lifting that button, the middle finger. Here we go. Okay, that was closer in tune than I thought it would be. Now I'm going to experiment showing you other notes while I'm exhaling, and you can hear the timbre difference and the pitch difference. Okay, here I go. Okay, so of all those choices, the one that felt the best for me just now was to have the ones I showed you, 1, 3, 1, B flat, plus my low B, C, plus my low B flat. Adding on all those bell keys made it feel more firm and reliable to me. So when you're practicing your altissimo, you should start incorporating these notes into your scales and your practicing. And right now, let's play C, D, E, F, G, and back down. You may not be able to go that fast at first until you get comfortable with the fingerings. The notes that are higher than a G, in my opinion, are a tiny bit easier than the G was. Okay, so the G sharp, we're already on our 1, 3, 1 and our B flat key, right? Plus you may have added on other keys. Now, simply slide the B flat key up to that alternate C key. That's the side key. Nothing else changes. So 1, 3, 1, and side C, and that should raise you from a G up to a G sharp. Okay, so what I'm doing down here with the bell keys is more about tuning, but the main feature of those two notes is the slide right here. Okay, let me show you guys. F, G, and then A flat or G sharp. Now we're going to go to A natural. Again, only practice these notes one at a time until you can do them. Going from G sharp to A is going to be kind of like an overtone of D, right? This is the way my teacher taught it. So D, as you know, is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you remove that first finger, you should be able to pop out a high A. It's hard for me. What I prefer is to add on that side C key as if I were coming from G sharp. So here I go. I'm going to do F sharp, right? Altissimo F sharp, altissimo G sharp, and then altissimo A by keeping this finger down and then on the other hand going like that, like it's a D minus the first finger plus the side C all at once. Let's see if it works. Let me try that again. I messed up the fingering. Okay, let's try an A major scale. I'm laughing because I'm kind of out of tune. This is hard, and yes, it does involve a little bit of manipulation of the reed on the mouthpiece. Notes that are higher than an A are pretty easy if you can maintain that perfect pressure on the reed. If you get too much pressure, forget it, it's all lost. If it's not enough, then of course it'll pretty much be like no sound at all. It'll sound like an out of tune low C sharp or something. All right, but anyway, to go higher, we're simply going to add on palm keys. Okay, so we've got let's say our A is cooking and it's working well. Now we're going to add on our D key and it'll go up to a B flat. Okay, right now I'm having trouble with that overtone, but I know from experience that if I lift up those two fingers, it'll be better. Adding the D sharp should raise it up another half step, B natural. Adding or changing from the side C to the side E should raise it up another half step to a C. And then to go to a C sharp, I usually just let go of all those keys. So I'm playing the fingering of a high E natural. And then to go to high D, then I usually just go back to the like the G fingering, but it's honestly it's just one. So just that. Okay, so I might not succeed, but I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to try those notes. Starting on an A. Okay. I kept that one take, but it took me several tries. The reed is suffering a little bit, and I'm having to take a little bit deeper bite than what I think I should take. Well, thanks for taking this ride with me into Altissimo, and I hope it was beneficial for you. I'm going to do a second video, a follow-up, to discuss more depth about the reed, the mouthpiece, and how they play a factor in your quest for Altissimo. See you next time.